Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We can argue, we can debate, we can talk about whether or not this season has been a success. We can argue and debate and talk about whether it's been a failure. We can win out. This football team can win out and finish 9-3, get a bowl win. You're looking at your third 10-win season in 4 years. I think that's pretty good, but you can also lose to Florida. You can lose to Vanderbilt. Heck, lose one of them, two of them. A lot of people in this fan base are going to be making some noise if that happens, but you got to look back and remember the overall picture. This football team has been through a lot, right? Injuries to Jermod McCoy, Ricky Gibson. The interior of your defensive line started off this season banged up, but it's also dealt with a lot of drama, and it started with QB1 hitting the portal after spring camp. The worst possible time for Nico to bounce is when he bounced, right? And it started, there were rumors circulating that Nico's camp was shopping him around. There were contract negotiations leading up to him no-showing practice, getting kicked off the team, and Josh Heupel had to address that. We're coming out of spring camp, going into the orange and white game, and Josh Heupel has to address quarterback one. This is what he said.
Out of it, obviously, we're moving forward as a program without him. I said it to the guys today. There's no one that's bigger than the power T, and that includes me.
No one is bigger than the power T. That was such a huge statement by Josh Heupel. He was moving on from not just quarterback one, right? Josh Heupel wasn't just moving on from his starting quarterback. He was moving on from the guy that was supposed to be the savior of the program. He was moving on from the biggest recruit that Tennessee had signed in the modern era. He was moving on from a guy that was supposed to change the football program at Tennessee. But Heupel said that Nico Iamaleava is not bigger than the power T, and we moved on. It was such a big moment. So many people in the national media were talking about Josh Heupel and the stand that he took, the statement that he made by saying that nobody is bigger than the power T. But what about Boo Carter? Was Boo Carter bigger than the power T? Did Boo Carter get an extra opportunity? We talk about chemistry. We talk about the culture that Josh Heupel has created on Rocky Top. Chris Lowe went to Twitter and had some interesting words about Boo Carter, about the leadership council, and possibly about the culture at Tennessee. Is this a huge problem? Is this maybe giving us some answers to the 2025 season? We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. I need you guys to do the YouTube stuff for me. Smash the thumbs up below the video. You know the deal. It's quick, free. It's easy. It helps the channel. I would appreciate it. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. What we are is what you guys are. It's for the fans, by the fans. We do what fans do. We speculate. We do talk about rumors. Why? If you came over to my house, you sat down on the couch, and we're going to talk about Tennessee football, we're going to speculate on rumors. That's what we do here for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe. Click the bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Fun live stream this morning with Eric Kane of VolQuest.com. If you missed it, go back and give it a watch. Talked a lot about this matchup coming up on Saturday with the Florida Gators. Going to be live tomorrow night, 6:30, playing EA Sports College Football. Going to be live Wednesday night for Talkin VAWLS Live. Always good time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Join us for that. Again, we go back to Boo Carter. We talk about all the rumors before fall camp. Boo Carter's late to practice, team activities, missing team activities. Again, rumors. We don't know what's true, what's not. We aren't in that locker room. We don't see it. There were rumors that his teammates got fed up with it. His teammates got sick of it. There are rumors that there was a locker room incident, a locker room altercation, because Boo's teammates were sick and tired of him not showing up, sick and tired of him not doing his part, sick and tired of him not giving his all for Tennessee. That frustration, allegedly, again, rumors, led to a locker room incident. But it doesn't just go back to December, right? And you can go back, you can take a look at Twitter, and I think these are comical, and I talked about this in the morning stream earlier today. The Spire Sports Group, the Volunteer Club, the graphic, home sweet home to me, back home. Boo Carter tweets out, I'm back home. This went out December the 27th of last year. What do you mean you're back? Where did you go? NIL conversations, NIL negotiations playing out in the public eye, right? And that's the way we saw it with Boo. It was always in the public eye. I need more money. And this is not me taking a shot at Boo. That's all players. All players are asking for more money. All players are having contract negotiations, but some play out more publicly than others. But again, we got to tweet out the graphic saying, I am back home. I'm still trying to figure out where you went in the first place. So many rumors of the transfer portal, so many rumors of Colorado, his relationship with Jordan Seaton, wanting to go play for Coach Prime. Again, all that played out immediately after the season last year, but then you roll into the off season, you roll into getting ready to head to fall camp. And again, late to practice, late to team activities, missing team activities, the locker room incident. Josh Heupel said this just prior to fall camp. Fall camp's about to kick off. We're all questioning, where's Boo Carter? Boo Carter goes MIA. He's nowhere to be seen, not at practice, not in the facilities. Josh Heupel has to address it before fall camp. This is what he says.
I know at some point I'm going to get a question about Boo, so I'm going to address that right now. Boo is a part of our team here. There's some things that he's got to accomplish to get back on the field with us. Don't have a set timeline on that. Our leadership council has been a part of those things, those discussions with me and with Boo. I'm proud of what they've done. They care and love Boo, and want him to be his best too. And through this, I think Boo sees that as well.
Let's take a look at this tweet from Chris Lowe. And as we talk about the Nico situation and the Boo Carter situation, a little bit similar, but also different. Every one of these situations is different. There's a lot of layers to it, the way that Josh Heupel handled it. But again, Nico Iamaleava no-shows practice. Nobody's bigger than the T. We kick you off the team and we move on. Boo Carter goes AWOL, disappears, goes out to the West Coast. Now, I do think there is some difference there because what I've seen, what I've read, what I've heard is that Boo Carter was still in communication with this staff when he left. But Josh Heupel addresses the media and says he met with the leadership council. The leadership council was heavily involved in this decision. Some people said that Boo Carter should have been kicked off the team back then. Others said that they like Josh Heupel going to the team, hearing from the team. I was in that camp. I like that the leadership council was involved. Here's the tweet from Pete Nako saying that Boo Carter is gone. Him and Tennessee are parting ways. He was dismissed from the team. Chris Lowe says, now a done deal. Carter is no longer with the program. Was an odd situation going back to off-season workouts when he went AWOL. Again, Nico went AWOL. He was dismissed from the team. Boo Carter goes AWOL. We meet with the leadership council. We give Boo Carter another opportunity. Here's where it gets interesting. Chris Lowe goes on to say a lot of the team leaders didn't want him back to start with, and then he played sporadically. I think that is a big red flag that a lot of the team leaders did not want him back on this team. Now, again, Josh Heupel met with the leadership council. What went down there? And if a lot of the leaders on this team didn't want Boo Carter to be a part of this football team, that is a huge problem. Do we have a problem on our hands? Is that a problem with the culture? Did this culture problem impact this defense in 2025? And I think that is a fair question to ask. You go back to the preseason. A lot of us, myself included, thought this defense was going to be a strength for this football team in 2025. You had a top 10 defense in 2024. This year, we got 2 games left on the schedule. You're 113th in the country in scoring defense. You're 114th in the country in passing defense. Now, I know you lost some dudes to the NFL. You lost James Pierce. You lost Omar Norman Lott. You also had to deal with some injuries, right? Ricky Gibson, Jermon McCoy. That's a lot in itself to overcome. It felt like you needed Boo Carter because of the injuries. And how did the locker room take to that? Was that part of it? Was it you strictly needed Boo Carter for his football abilities? And again, how does the locker room take that? They had already been through it with Nico. Nico, QB1, quits on us right after spring camp. He bounces. Worst possible time for the quarterback to leave. And this football team, these guys that are playing together, these guys that are playing for the T, it felt like that moment, what we saw play out in the public eye, what we saw Miles Kitselman saying, the way that he responded, it seemed like that incident brought this football team together. It brought them tighter. It brought them close. But then you had to go through it again. How did they react the second time? Again, you already went through it with Nico. Now you got to go through it with Boo Carter. Had some good conversation with Kaner this morning on the morning show. I think Josh Heupel, maybe I'm wrong. Was he doing Boo Carter a favor? Because there's a difference between Nico and Boo. When you dismiss Nico, the portal was still open. He still had an opportunity to go play football. When you dismissed Boo Carter, or when the drama was going down with Boo Carter before the season, transfer portal is closed. You kick Boo Carter off the team, he's gone. What does his life look like without football? I don't know. I've seen the rumors. I've seen what some people say, but everything's not true that you read on the internet. It's not always true. But what does Boo Carter's life look like without football? So was Josh Heupel reaching his hand out to help Boo Carter, give him another opportunity? Should Boo Carter have been kicked off this football team back before fall camp? I'll let you guys talk about that in the comment section. What are your thoughts on that? Hindsight's always 2020, right? Boo, has he really contributed to this team? 25 tackles, a sack, 3 forced fumbles. He played 21 snaps against Kentucky. You could see the writing on the wall when he played 0 defensive snaps against Oklahoma. And say what you want, Boo Carter was lollygagging. Boo Carter was loafing. Boo Carter wasn't giving 100%. He wasn't giving his all for Tennessee. You could see it crystal clear on the football field play out in front of you. He was not giving his all for Tennessee. Lackadaisical effort. Fair catch on punt returns when he could have made a play. You can't debate that. You can't argue that. That's the truth. You can see it with your own 2 eyes. A lot to unpack there. Do you believe that this is a problem? Do you believe that Josh Heupel had a problem in his locker room on the defensive side of the ball? Or is this just college football in 2025? I don't know the answer. That's why I brought it here to talk about it with you. We can talk about it in the comment section. As always, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Jump in the comment section. Let's break this thing down. Did we have a culture problem on defense? And by trimming that away, by getting rid of that, how does this team respond, not only for the rest of 25, but also moving in to 2026? As always, you can go check out our merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can also help the channel by hitting the join button down below. It's only $1 to become the member of the channel. We appreciate that support. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.